3G?
No. Good morning. Morning, everybody. The live. Waiting. Yay. Good evening. Good
Hi,
morning.
good morning. It's nice and early for you there.
I like it. I like that we're doing a 12-hour difference live. That's so fun.
I know, I know. I'm so happy we can make it. I'm so happy we're finally having this chat. How's everything for you over there?
Everything is good. I feel like we're settled in, we're stocked up, I think we finally have given in to what the pandemic is teaching us, which is to just take care of ourselves and lean into what we can control and let go of what we can't control. And so this has definitely been a softening of our minds and spirit, I feel like, during this time. How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's I think it's been exactly as you said, an incredible opportunity for us to pause and take stock of everything and everything that's going on around us, how we live our lives normally. Excuse me, what really matters to us. Also, I think it's called for us to really look and observe around us at what is going on around us. Of course, I think we're all naturally feeling a lot more compassionate and the need to help a lot more right now. But one thing we also have to remember is that a lot of the suffering which is we are more aware of now is also there when this time has not been there before. And I think that sometimes we're so caught up and preoccupied with our extremely busy lives and schedules that we can not be so aware of it. And I think this is, for me, it's been a really, I think that's the biggest takeaway I take so far from this time is how much more we can really do, I think, in our position to help others and to create awareness to things and to projects and people that really matter.
I 100% agree. And one of my favorite things, if someone could possibly say favorite, but one good thing that has come out of this pandemic is I met you through a really dear friend of mine, Anjula, who I know is also friends with you. And she's Priyanka's manager and works closely with Priyanka. And she, lovingly connected us and being able to make friends with someone on the other side of the world because we're both passionate about doing something in a predicament like this and being active and just getting to know you and getting to be active together has been so inspiring for me, just getting to know you in that way. And what I love about every conversation we've had is about how focused you are on supporting your local community and really focusing on what's going on for you. So I commend you for that, and inspires me watching you focus so much on your own community. It makes me think so much more about my community. So I appreciate you for everything that you're doing in India today.
Thank you so much. But for everyone who might not be aware here at home in India, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the incredible work that you've done with the Beauty United. And I think that, I mean, I've seen you kind of, work through this, and we've been talking throughout the whole, from the inception to the incredible campaign you launched. I can see the incredible amount of work that it takes. Like I know how many hours you're dedicating to it and how much of time is you're completely consumed by. But I think it's incredible. I think is it some $8 million US that Beauty United has raised so far. And what's beautiful about it is you've kind of got this community of beauty owners to come together and give their support in this incredible time of need. So I mean that's also been an incredible learning for me, as well, as to what we can do as in the beauty industry. Sometimes you can feel, okay, I don't have a direct connection to what is going on here. I'm not a frontline worker. I'm not in the healthcare field, but there are still ways that we can contribute. There are still ways that it might be in a small way, but every counts. At a time like this, every little counts. Like the first thing for me stopped and did was see what can I do for the K-beauty community? What can we do to kind of keep everyone together, let everyone know that we're here, we've not just abandoned you? And what can we do to help at this time? What information can we share that might be useful? What kind of support can we give at this time?
And so one of the things that I love that you've been doing is a weekly, hosting a weekly sort of education curriculum, self-care with Kay. And I think taking care of ourselves is so important, whether that be food or diet or meditation. And so tell us a little bit about what you're doing on a weekly basis and what inspired you to start that.
So I think it first came from something one step before. So from the inception of K Beauty, which is the beauty brand which I launched with my incredible partners Nika last year, it's always been about putting women first. It was something that we launched because we felt that there was a gap in the market which we wanted to fill, and I also wanted to have a voice about my experience with makeup and in the beauty industry as an actress over the last few years that I've been working now. It's been a fairly long time. Makeup is a very personal thing to me, and I felt that I just wanted a sense of freedom to come into the way that we were conversing about makeup and and beauty in general, and that was something which was really passionate to me. So right from our campaign, which was all about it's okay to be you, however you are, we're all beautiful, we're not mistakes. God didn't make a mistake with any one of us, and we have to celebrate who we are. And that's kind of what has been at the heart of our company since the beginning. And I just wanted to know and to see how we can maintain that through this time. If it's all about us as a community and the K Beauty family, how can we be of support during this time to everyone? And how can we share information, share inspiring tips, share something educational, maybe just share something which will just take your mind off the stresses for a few hours in the day. And what I found was really helpful during this time for me was small things, small recommendations. It could be a book, it could be a meditation practice, it could be something I saw on someone's Instagram handle about a certain ginger recipe which you put in hot water, which is an immunity booster, which made me feel good about okay, I'm doing something for my immunity. So I kind of thought it would be a nice idea to start a weekly property called Self-Care. And what we do is we invite speakers and holistic wellness professionals from all around the world, and from the incredible talent that we have here at home in India, to speak and share with us their insight on different topics. So one week we could do something about mental health. One week we could be doing something about immunity boosting diet tips. One week we could be doing something about DIY home skincare. One week we could be doing a fun makeover. So we try and balance it between maybe something which is a more serious topic, as well as some light fun topics as well.
I agree. I think everyone needs a blend of education, but also some fun, because the news is very serious and the energy is quite serious. So I think it's such an amazing thing. How is the K team doing? Like, how is your team doing? And how is everything going on with how you're thinking about things for the brand over the next few months?
Right from my incredible partners to all the incredible women who work together for K Beauty, they are such an inspiration to me, and that's actually why I partnered up with one lady. Her name is Falguni Nair. She's the creator of Nika. She's been such a game changer for women and the voice of beauty in India. She really has been. And the first thing when I got the lockdown hit, which meant that our warehouses were shut, our sales were shut, her entire online distribution website was shut. That meant absolutely zero income. The first thing that was at the top of everyone's mind was retaining all the employees and protecting everyone during this time, and keeping her family, her team together and protected. And everyone, the way that they've been from home on Zoom calls, so excited and trying their best to contribute at this time to hold everything together. We are a new company. We've only been like a year, so we're in a very nascent kind of place, and we just kind of started out. And of course, we have to protect it. And it's it's a new baby. We have to protect it. And everyone has come together so beautifully with so many ideas. And I think it's been a really, really wonderful time. And I think it's only going to make our K-beauty community stronger, and the entire family stronger, that when we all come out the other end of this, with our heads above water, and you see how we all kind of, stay together.
I think this situation for sure, if possible, sometimes makes us all stronger. And I know you have been passionate about staying active during COVID-19. I know that there's sort of, talk us through some of the things that you've been involved with and some of the things that you've been doing. I've read a lot, but I'd love to hear it from you, sort of where your passion lies in staying active on the COVID-19 front for you.
So for me, it's really been a balance of kind of 3 or 4 buckets, which I would describe it as. The first thing was, of course, making sure that that everyone at K-beauty and the K-beauty community we were looking after each other. And so that involves a certain amount of work in the day. I would say that each day a few hours go into those calls, the group, our entire staff calls, to see how we can take it forward and to see what more we can do. Then there's, of course, a certain time I dedicate to reading my scripts, to reading film scripts, which are still coming, different material, which people are interested in putting into development on some of the OTT platforms. So there's that kind of time I allocate to the day. And then we kind of, every day or every alternate day, we go through the different requests we have had to maybe gain awareness for a particular topic right now that someone wants to highlight. So it could be domestic violence. Recently, Zoya Akhtar, who's one of our leading film directors here and a dear friend of mine, she kind of brought me in to gain awareness on her campaign for domestic violence and violence against women during this time. We at K-beauty also have something called CARE initiative, which we have launched along with the inception of our brand. But right now we re-partnered with an incredible team called Heart Foundation, and that's led by one powerhouse. Her name is Vrundan, and she's tirelessly working right now during this time. And let me tell you, when I speak to her, it's tireless work. It's literally going from place to place to get permissions to deliver the necessities, the basic sanitation necessities, the basic food supplies as a kind of care package to district outside of Mumbai, for those who don't know too much about the locality, where the daily wage earners are not being able to support their families and are not being able to just have the basics that you require, whether it's food, sanitization supplies, sanitary supplies. So they are actually going house to house and delivering these care packets of ration, of food ration, of sanitary supplies, of cleaning supplies, and going house to house. And when we spoke, she told me like they had only covered a certain amount so far, and I was like, oh, why is that seeming to go a little slow? And she was like, because cars don't reach to the houses. You have to walk to get out of there. It's that rural. So the work that they're doing has been really inspiring, and I think we're just incredibly fortunate that we are able to just partner and be part of the blessings, I think, that they are sharing with people. So that's one thing which we've been trying to kind of keep going, keep alive, raising funds. We're also raising funds for that because it's an ongoing need. It's not a kind of a one-time thing. It's something which is ongoing. So we've been doing that with Dehat. We're just trying to constantly see as the situation keeps changing, because it's changing day to day and the needs are changing day to day.
And so one of the things that I read was that that they're also giving fabric to women so that they can cut it into masks and sell them. And so I think one of the things that I really admire about you is that we both share passion for your self-made woman. You know, women, it's important for women to be able to support themselves financially. You know, there's so many complicated situations in our lives that we are faced with as women. The domestic abuse, I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people are nervous to talk about that issue, but it's really like something I think about every night before I go to sleep. And so can you tell us a little bit, because I was so inspired by not just giving people something, but giving them the ability to earn earn and make a living?
So that is something which I think Bundan, who is the founder of Dehat, she has always supported that thought process, which is enable people. Don't just do a one time or a few times handout. Enable people that they can sustain it. So how they actually first started out, she kind of saw a gap where there were a lot of kids who were being taken out of school, who were from families who were single parents, so they didn't have a father providing at home, and a lot of the girls would be taken out of school to help basically keep up or keep the earnings that were coming into the household higher. So when she felt that, listen, if I can enable the mothers to earn higher, they will be encouraged to keep their kids in school. And what she did was she found a process to teach them where out of newspapers they create pencils and they sell them. So what we actually do on K Beauty is there's a certain tie-up that we have, that we take a certain stock that they have, and we give these the hot pencils with the purchases that people make. So that's actually kind of how she has started. She's trying to empower people to kind of take it forward, so that you're helping on a long term basis. It's not just short term. In terms of the fabric, as you said, it's also, yes, to be able to make the masks and sell them, but also just because they needed the masks. And that was also very important at this time to keep safe.
Yes, huge. And so much of, I would imagine, so much of what you do is inspired by your mom, who seems like she's done a lifetime of work as, I think it's such a blessing in life to have a strong mother. My mom is mostly only ever interested in what I'm doing for someone else and very rarely interested in what I do for myself. She's constantly asking me who I'm helping, what I'm doing, and that she always wants me to know that there's something more than just being successful. And it sounds like your mom is similar in that sense. And she has a school that she started. And so just reading about it, but I would love for you to sort of tell our audience and share with everyone what your mom is up to and how that's impacted what you're thinking about.
So I think that firstly, you're incredibly blessed that you have a mother like that, because, sorry, I'm just going to go off topic for a minute here. I remember once a few years in Dalai Lama on a plane, and it was a small flight, okay? And I saw him and I was excited, and I was, wow, I have to go and talk to him. And when I started talking to him, at one point in the conversation, I asked him, he said, do you have anything to ask? And I said, how do you achieve peace of mind? Or what is one way we can achieve peace in our minds? And he took a moment and he said, help others. And at that moment, I thought, that's not a direct answer to my question. And I didn't get what he was saying. But it's only a little bit later, I think, that you truly appreciate that when you take your focus away from your own problems and how the stories that we build around our own lives, which consume us, that's really when you can find so much relief and you can find so much peace, when you actually turn your attention onto other people and the needs of other people. And that kind of just opens a certain part of you, I think, which gives you so much peace. But yes, back to my mom. So my mom has always been, I've been born, she's always been, I think that was her calling in life, what we call seva, which is to help others. And the work which she's doing in particular, you're talking about, is in a place called Madurai. It's in the south of India, in a place called Uslampati. Now, this place was extremely, I would almost say, infamous for the issues a few years back with female infanticide. And I think that it's no coincidence that my mom had a calling to that area, because she has so many daughters. I have 6 sisters, so I think having 7 daughters, you're going to feel the pain when you know that there is this kind of intolerance towards the female child. And so I think her work there started first with a certain amount of awareness programs, social outreach programs to tackle the different issues around this, the problems there. And I think it kind of, where she settled down and found the strongest calling was in education. I think it was Nelson Mandela that said that education is the most powerful weapon that we have in the world. And what she kind of does with her work there, it's a 3-pronged approach, I would say. The first part of it is educate the parents and the families of the value of the female child. The second part of it is provide education facilities through the school, which she has there, called Mountain View School. which is an English medium school, to provide education. After that, I think the last thing, which I think is so beautiful, is they employ and they train local women as teachers and staff at the school, which then further underlines and demonstrates to the community the value of the female in the workplace, and the value that the females can contribute to the community. So it's kind of like showing by example. And I think was just before the lockdown, when I was at the school, and I met all the teachers and everyone there, who are all local women. They're so bright and they're so lovely. And when you meet them, you just, your heart feels happy. And that's what they're doing there. My mom has put together the entire curriculum at the school. She's put together the teaching programs herself. There's around 250 kids there. They're all kids from very, very, less fortunate families, or families that are, kind of almost, I would say, below the poverty line, and underprivileged kids. And I think it's incredible community they're building there, because there's so much love and warmth in the classrooms. It's not just about creating a building of brick and saying we're educating people. It's creating a healthy environment for the children in their early formative years to grow up and find and be encouraged to have that confidence in themselves, and to be loved, and to be in a nurturing environment. I read somewhere that, the first early years of a child really can be the deciding factor between whether they succeed or fail in life, because that becomes your grounding foundation. That becomes almost your what's imprinted in your subconscious mind.
Absolutely.
And environment, which it may not be a million kids, but still it's 250 kids that I feel are going to get the best formative years that really is that you can have, and that kind of love and care and education which they're receiving at the school. We hope to, by around the next 2 or 3 years, have the facilities expanded enough to facilitate around 500 kids.
Oh, wow. I think one thing that I'm clear of out of this pandemic is that concept of the butterfly effect, right? Like, you never know how one small action can impact, hundreds of years from now. We have no idea who one of those 250 children, like, who their children will be, how they will be impacting. And so I think it's less about quantity and more about quality, right? And I think that all of us can think about these things in terms of how you treat your postman, or the grocery store worker, or a friend who's having a hard time with their financial situation. I think this is a time where the past few decades toughened me up. I felt like I was feeling very tough. And I feel like this situation has really, at least for me, forced me to rethink through the lens of how to approach things a little differently, because I think it's so clear that the system was already it was clearly our system, all it took was a few months of no working for the entire thing to kind of really not fall down, but cracks. We can all now see the cracks in society, and it's global, right? It's what you see in the US, what you see all over the world, that in general, there just haven't been enough resources for many, many, many people. And I think education, you're right, is the only way to solve that. It's the only way. So that's amazing. And congrats to your mom. And I find that so impressive that generation, both you and her, are active in this work. So amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I think I have to give at least 99% of that credit to my mom, because, she set the example. And it can be really easy to get so caught up in thickness of our lives and what life does throw at us and does present to us, that you can kind of forget this whole other side out there like this. And because I think my mom has constantly set that as an example, I definitely didn't appreciate it when I was younger. Like, you kind of just wanted mommy all to yourself. But now I can understand, the value that she's brought to other people's lives, which I think is incredible.
Amazing. Well, one of the things I loved waking up to this morning was the thousands and thousands of DMs from all of your fans. You have amazing fans. They love you. They adore you. They are so engaged in everything you're doing. And so I'm just going to rattle off a couple questions. Do you prefer self-guided meditation, or do you like it through like a book or an app? Like, what's your preferred sort of meditation, I guess, way? What's your favorite practice?
Oh, there's a few things that I try and practice and that I do. I don't stick with one particular thing. There are a few types of meditation I do. One is a little bit more breath based, and it's actually, you can follow it on Soma Breath. It's a website and it will teach you about it. I find that especially during this time, has been very centering to me. There are a few other meditation practices which I kind of switch between depending on trying to listen to what I'm feeling on that particular day. But you know what has been extremely helpful to me is it's just the baby steps. You know, like I think sometimes we want to jump in at the deep end of the pool, and for a lot of people during this time, I've been trying to suggest there are some amazing apps which can help you out on a kind of very beginner level. There's an app called Calm, and there's an app called The Breathing Room, and both of these apps, you know, offer really short. I mean, I have nothing to do with the apps. I'm not promoting them. It's just that I found them to be extremely helpful, and I think that, you know, anything that's useful during this time, I'm really passionate about trying to share with other people, because I know that sometimes the smallest thing can make a big change. So they offer like different types of, so if someone cannot sit for half an hour, only 10 minutes, you have a 10-minute meditation, which can just really help you. The other thing which has really been nice right now is I've kind of revisited two books, which are, for me, they were life-changing books. One is a book called Who Says You Can't, You Do. And I think the writer's name is Daniel Chediak. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but the name is Who Says You Can't, You Do. And it's something which I think really helps you become aware of where you're focusing your attention in your life, and how when you change what you're focused on, things can change for you. The other one is a book called Radical Acceptance, which is by a writer called Tara Brach. And these two books, when I'm getting the time in the day, just sitting peacefully and reading, it's like, it's almost as if someone has just, you know, done this to your head. Like you feel, it gives you such a sense of calmness, centeredness. So, you know, I would really love to share these titles with, as you said, anyone who's asked. The other thing that's really been helpful, which is something new which I've started doing, is on this Calm app, they have a section called Music. Now, when we're used to noise around us all the time, we're used to working and being around people in 12, 14-hour days, or, you know, everyone's used to getting out there, getting on train, getting on the bus, wherever they work, all over the world. There's a lot of noise we're used to being around, and a lot of activity. And all of a sudden, to be in this kind of silence and to be in this kind of, you know, sheltered environment, it can be very unsettling for your mind, and that's where you can find yourself feeling unsettled. And what I found is when you listen to some of the tracks which they have on this music under Calm, it really just settles your mind. And it just small things like this, I think, can really help you in the day. You know, just having some natural sounds on in the background when you're doing something at home, or doing the housework, or you know, reading a book, or doing your computer work you have, just having it in the background, and it just kind of makes you feel a lot calmer.
I sleep to one of these soundtracks. I just have it on loop because it just helps with I'm not someone who really, I'm a good sleeper generally. Like I'm generally able to, like, you know, thank God, always just like go to bed and wake up feeling generally pretty rested. But this COVID-19 is somewhat exhausting. I think it's, your mind is constantly trying to digest and learn, and the information keeps changing. And so I am totally going to download Calm. I've been seeing the billboards for it everywhere, or I guess not everywhere because I haven't been driving very much lately. But when I was driving, I was seeing it out everywhere. But I'm definitely going to download that app because I think that would be a good thing to just listen to, hear, you know, check in a few minutes throughout the day to just check in and have like a 5 to 10 minute calm moment. I agree with you. I love it. You're so wise. You're so wise.
And a lot of the stuff I feel that we know, but then we find it difficult to practice. And that's what I keep trying to do with myself, is not be too hard on myself when I realize that I'm not following the practices which I know and I want to do. And I've gone back into a pattern of fearful thinking, or negative thinking, or you know, pattern of feeling anxious. and we know what to do. Like, you know, a lot of us know, we've read it in the books, we've studied it, and I think it's just about accepting it and picking yourself back up and trying again. You know, not being too hard that I failed. Now I failed. Let me just stay down here. You know, I failed. It's not, it's too late. You know, now I can't get back there. Like I try to consciously do that, realize and accept I've come off, you know, the kind of center where I want to be, and just try to guide myself back on there and focus on the things that we do want, focus on the things that mean a lot to us, that keep us happy, focus on our loved ones, focus on the love that we do have, and, you know, the people we do have in our lives, and what is the good that's around us.
Always trying to focus on the positive. I have one last question for you, which as soon as we posted, we were talking to you today, BeautyCon's feed and DMs was just filled with, you know, this is an official invitation from us to you. You know, when the time is right, when travel is allowed, we would love to have you come and join us at BeautyCon on the main stage. You're such an incredible talent. You're so inspiring, and it was remarkable to see the comments and the feeds and all of the notes I got from our audience here in the States that very much passionately want to see you on the main stage of BeautyCon. So we wanted to extend an official invite to you to come and join us when it's safe to do so.
Wow, thank you so much. That's incredible. We would absolutely love to come. I think the entire K-Beauty team is going to be thrilled when I share with them the official invite. You know, BeautyCon is a platform that we all admire and we follow, and, you know, we've all been big fans of BeautyCon for a long time. So fingers crossed that this all resolves itself, you know, soon, and everyone stays safe. And as soon as it's safe to travel, we really look forward to coming and joining you at BeautyCon and meeting the entire team.
Well, it'd be fun to create something special for your fans and our fans, and to celebrate your fans. We're going to pick one lucky winner to just go to follow your brand and myself, and we're going to pick someone today that's going to get a care package from you. Wow. The winner does need to be in India, but we know that there's so many fans that tuned in today and will watch these videos over the next few hours and few days. And so I just wanted to thank you. You have such a generous but strong spirit. I really, really love that about you. And I love how much you hold yourself accountable to doing good, and really how much you're focused on just your own community and your own what's going on in your country and focusing on women. And I just really love everything energetically. And I have to thank Anjula later today again for introducing us, but I appreciate you. I know it's not that late your time, but I'm sure you have to get to dinner or something.
Oh, but it's been lovely. I'm so happy we are finally able to have this amazing conversation. Yeah. Just thank you also once again to, as you said, all the incredible supporters and all the my incredible audience who's tuned in late at night here in India to watch this, and, you know, everyone who supports us and supports what we do all around the world. And thank you to everyone, and lots of love to everyone.
From us to you, we love you. Please, everyone, be safe, and we will get through this, and we will all talk to you soon. Bye, Katrina. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, love. Thanks, guys, for joining me on the Ends of the Bread. As you can tell, we are doing the most to try and really have a big global conversation here and think about things that, you know, we don't always get a chance to think about. So thank you for joining in. Please enter for the giveaway. Please stay safe. Have an amazing Thursday wherever you are, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.